Okay. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Art at the Inn. I am Soupsica, aka Cece, aka Soup, here in the Laughing Dragon Inn. I'm our channel artist, and tonight I am going to be joined on mic by Liz, Timothy, and Dan. And maybe somebody else will pop into our little chat. Who knows? Who knows? So, does everyone want to say hi real quick? We'll start with Liz.
Hi, I'm Liz.
And then Timothy,
Hi, I'm Timothy.
and then Dan.
Hi, I'm Dan, and I approve this message.
Thank you. Awesome.
Amazing. So, if anybody can't hear any one of us, please let us know in Twitch chat. I'm going to be switching over to this drawing that I've been working on. It's of my character Marley, and she is a Shatterkai. She's on our Spelljammer game. And I'm drawing her for an upcoming art show slash fantasy zine through Art Force 5000, which is my local art group. So I began this drawing on our last Art at the End stream, so I'm going to be continuing it today while we chit chat. All right.
Ooh, it's looking good.
Thank you.
Really good.
Yeah. This is the
love
first
the,
I've seen.
I
I
love
just
that.
got on the chat, so
Thank you very much.
I also like your piratical banner.
Yeah.
Oh, I just noticed.
Yeah, I've got a pirate flag covering our door.
It's cool though. It works with the Star Chasers
Yeah.
consolation
Oh,
prize. Right, exactly.
Oh man, Constellation Prize should have been the name of our ship.
Oh, constellation prize! Oh my god!
Somebody get Andy on the horn.
Andy! He's like,
Andy!
he's gonna turn to Alvar.
He's gonna be like,
Be all
no,
Harrison
absolutely
Ford,
not.
Grumpy Harrison Ford.
We're all gonna get
Constellation.
banned again.
That's what we should rename the ship, Constellation Prize.
Yeah. If it ever needs to go undercover or something, that's gonna be our
Again.
backup name.
Yeah, the charming anecdote's not bad.
Yeah, the charming anecdote is very good,
We'll
but
see.
it could have been Constellation Prize.
I know.
Is
Better than
This is-
constipation prize.
Very true.
Wow, look at those purple eyes!
Oh, thank you.
So pretty.
the
What brushes are you using?
I'm using I switch between two brushes mainly. So I have one brush that I use for doing the pencils. That's just like a regular pencil brush. And then for coloring, for the bigger swath areas like the skin or the hair and stuff, I use a regular gouache brush. So I use it kind of at a bigger size, and it's got like all these really nice like blendy things that you can do with it. And then for finer details and lines and stuff, I use a thin gouache brush. So it still has a lot
So-
of that like painter quality. But
Gouache is your brush of choice.
yes, yes.
I usually use the round tip brush when I paint the watercolor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've really only been doing digital art for a short time compared to you, certainly. So I'm kind of just going basic, you know.
Yeah.
I haven't done any sort of tutorial on. Are you using Photoshop?
I use Clip
Or use-
Studio Paint. That's
Clip Studio.
Mhm.
Sure.
yeah. I don't want to pay for a Adobe subscription.
No,
we'll
I
not
got
get
you.
into
I'm
it.
using Procreate these days. I have
Yes.
Clip Studio on a laptop that got stolen.
Oh no.
Yeah, when my house was robbed years ago. But
Oh, dear.
so I never really got to dive into it before, because this was before I had a touch like a surface I could draw directly on, and I would use the Wacom pad. Is that what you're using?
I'm using Wacom Cintiq.
Yeah.
It's the mobile studio. It used to be called the Companion series. So it's like kind of like a laptop slash tablet in one.
And you can draw on it directly.
Yes, directly
Yeah,
onto
yeah,
the
yeah.
screen.
I
See,
have
the one
one
I
of those,
I got that stuff before that sort of leap had happened, and I never the learning curve of using the tablet independent of the actual, you know what I mean?
Yes.
The drawing. My brain was like no.
Yeah.
So
I've tried to do those. I did for years. Had
Yeah.
like essentially a cheaper version of an Intuos.
Right.
And just, God, it was like every time you used it, it was like relearning how to draw.
Right. Yeah. Very frustrating. So I mean, the simple leap that they've made now is so much better.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, Dan, were you going to say something?
I a couple times, but I forgot. Also, like I feel weird cutting in because you guys are more knowledgeable about this particular.
All
Ever.
art skills are valid.
No,
Absolutely.
I get that, but like on the topic of art and
Well, digital
specifically
art. I mean,
painting,
I'm just asking questions because Cece's experienced, and
that is true. I guess you're more of like a painter.
I'm just very
He's an
DIY
all medium
artist.
kind of guy. If
Yeah,
you've seen his
yeah.
Instagram, holy crap.
I'm an MS
Uh-huh.
painter.
Plugs and shout outs to Timothy's Instagram. You're always at
Follow
the
that
art game.
Instagram. It's
Yay!
really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm
Yeah.
still. I can't
Playing.
believe you made like a full painting of Vinny. I don't think I ever properly thanked you for that. That was so nice of you.
Sure, man. Of course. That was like right when we first met too.
Yeah, no, I was just. It was so
Almost 2
nice.
years
It's
ago.
like I was kind of blown away. I don't think I ever properly thanked you for it.
You're welcome. And I'll finish our campfire painting one of these days of all 4 main characters and the cheapers around the fire. Yeah, I put a little sample of it on the Insta, but I have to finish the painting.
Let's
Yeah.
see. We've got Marty and Andy chiming in. We've got the charming anecdote was very spur of the moment. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
That's okay though. But I do think we're officially registered with some nerds. I believe the
In our
GIF word
hearts.
was. And then Andy said you already put it on an official document, but of course you can change it to whatever you want. It will just confuse the nerds canon.
Right.
We'll
Those
know
are
in
the
a,
nerds that Minerva was all into meeting.
yeah, we'll know in our hearts that it's the Constellation Prize.
Absolutely. Liz is right.
And then Marty is asking, is that only for Apple products? Is there a Windows version / copy? What are you talking about? The program
The
that I'm using?
Art software, probably, yeah.
The Clip Studio is for both, actually. On Windows, which is what I'm using it on my drawing tablet. It's actually a Windows like tablet. It's like the Companion series originally started off as like a mesh with the Surface tablets. It was supposed to be Wacom and Microsoft meshing up to create like a super high-end Surface. And then eventually now it just runs like I'm running Windows 10 on this thing, like full on. But then also on like an iPad or whatever, they also have a version of Clip Studio for iPad, but it's subscription based.
So you pay so much a month?
On the iPad only.
So it's all cloud based.
Yes.
That's
On
nice.
Windows, it's a one-time fee. So
Right. Right. Yeah, I remember I paid a lot for my
yeah.
software back when, God, that wasn't really that long ago either. You know, and like I said, everything's sort of whoop, now you can just do it this way. And it's so much less on the front end. You know, it's great because it means you don't need to save a chunk of change anymore. You get the right shit to do the work. You just,
Exactly.
you know, so
Like
much a month.
compared to like Photoshop, I believe back in the day was like $600.
At least.
yeah.
And that's back in the day bucks. So it was like, you know, $600. As bad as it is now, it was worse then if you had to pay that.
Yeah.
You know.
Marty, I am using EX version. I can't read what that says.
Are you-
I use the EX version because the EX version has animation support.
yeah.
And
Very
the
good.
EX version also has, I never use it because I actually have physical versions of these, but they have like 3D modeled stuff that you can like pose it and then take a picture of it and then import it into your drawing file. So yeah, I got it off of like an 80% off sale though. So
Sure. That's cool.
yeah. Clip is
Yeah.
always running like crazy sales on
Yeah,
their
you know,
stuff.
and I bet with my membership, because I paid for that shit, I bet I could contact customer service and be like, hey man,
Yeah,
can you help me?
they're pretty
You know.
pretty liberal with the licenses.
But
So,
I mean, it's been so much time.
are you getting mileage from the free version, or if you paid a one-time fee? I paid a one-time fee for the one on Windows. So at first I brought the Pro, and it was on an 80% off. It very conveniently tends to go on sale around my birthday.
That's awesome.
So I bought the Pro version 1 year, or I asked for it for my birthday 1 year, when it was 80% off. And then the next year, I was like, I'm using this program so much. It's obviously the one that I want to stick with. The EX version was on sale for 80% off. And so I asked for the upgrade, because they offer like a discount if you just upgrade instead of like buying straight out. So it's really nice. They try and make it very affordable, especially compared to frickin' Photoshop.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So yeah,
Oh,
I'm excited.
you're excited.
Yeah. Just in general, I'm sorry. I just so much interesting stuff coming up. I think I
There
actually
is.
looks
I had
like
a job
Marty's
today.
asking. Sorry, Marty's asking if starting with the pros is a good step.
Yes, it's a very good step to see if you want this program, because I did Photoshop back in school, because we obviously had better access to stuff back when I was in school, and working on their equipment. And then when they announced that they were moving to all cloud subscriptions for Photoshop, they also simultaneously announced that they were stopping support on the version of Photoshop that I had at home on my laptop. So that's when I started shopping around for new drawing programs. So I tried Paint Tool Sai, which is like a $20 Japanese program. It's like an open source thing. It's really nice, but it is literally just for digital painting. It really doesn't support like photo manipulation stuff. It doesn't support comic making. It doesn't support like graphic design stuff. And it definitely doesn't support animation. It's just literally for digital painting. And then I tried Clip Studio on the Pro version and fell in love with it because it's like literally everything that I wanted from Photoshop and Illustrator and Animate/Flash, whatever they're calling it these days, kind of all mixed into one, and way cheaper.
It's nice. It really is amazing, the digital revolution.
Yeah.
Like, a huge difference.
Oh my god, yeah. From back in the day when my dad was buying me a Chinese bootleg version of Photoshop CS2.
So brutal. So brutal to be I mean, it's hard enough to be an artist in this country
Yeah.
without having to pay for all the fucking shit, you know?
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off, Dan, I think, with my alerting to Marty. You were talking about a job.
No, he was talking about all the exciting stuff we got coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
So exciting, he stopped talking.
Yeah.
We got mad. I'm sorry, Dan.
What? Sorry, I got distracted.
What?
Thought you were mad because I cut you off.
No, I wasn't that mad. I just
Mad, Dan. You went outside to walk it off.
I admit I was a little bit like, oh, I wanted to say something, but I've already forgotten what it was, so I
So
can't
sorry.
be that. I couldn't be mad if I wanted to be, just as I don't remember what my point was again.
It was for Marty. I'm sorry. He was hanging. I know his voice must hurt too because he's not chatting. So.
Oh, I know
Feeling
that
some
both
empathy.
him and Andy are just like itching
Gave
to be
each
in
other
here.
The coronavirus.
Oh, I hope not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
That's a joke. Please don't have
Yeah.
coronavirus.
You're
They,
canceled, Dan.
Coronavirus. I'm
Yeah.
so excited for the anniversary stream.
Me too.
I am
I
very
really-
excited for it.
Yeah.
I like the idea of all playing like different characters, and I think I think I'm gonna go with like just a dumb gimmick character, just so I get get the chance to do so.
Are you gonna do the new armor artificer and play Tony Stark?
Not what I no, that's not what I was gonna do. I was gonna do like a really like not overpowered but kind of a silly build.
Do it.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna make one of those crossbow, like just hand
Oh.
crossbow. I have like 4 extra attacks for no reason, but they're all like tiny attacks.
They do like 2 damage a piece, but
But hey, eventually,
you're
it's like-
attacking.
yeah, no, Rudy Point and Shooty is gonna be the best fighter of all time.
Oh, is that his name?
Yeah, that's what I decided his name is Rudy Point and Shooty.
First name
How about-
Rudy, middle name Rudy, last name Point and Shooty.
Right,
No,
because you
middle
need that
name-
extra. I
middle
was gonna
name
say,
Tootie. Middle name Tootie.
Tootie was gonna be my suggestion. So Rudy, Tootie, Point
No,
and Shooty.
he has a twin sister named Tootie.
There
Judy.
you go.
Judy.
Rudy, they're 3 siblings. Rudy and Judy.
You're making a
the,
whole family here.
Point Shooty family. Yeah, they're no relation to Knifey. Although,
You gotta watch your back because they'll shoot you right in the patootie.
I was gonna say no relation to Knifey, but come to think of it, yeah, probably related to Knifey.
Right.
Or are
It's
they
like-
gonna be gobs?
Maybe now, because that would work.
They have
very-
decks, don't they? Goblins.
Hmm?
The basic goblin has decks, don't
Tons
they?
of decks.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have Decks and
So
cons,
that's your
like
point
everything-
and shooty.
Like honestly, not the worst race to pick, because fighters already get enough feats.
hmm
That's a
Yeah.
good idea, actually.
Does anybody else
Yeah.
have any idea of what they would want to play?
I've sort of only just
Started
racking my
thinking of
brain.
it.
Yeah, just thinking about level and stuff, and then I'm thinking, oh, I could bring a character that's never been on stream before.
Yeah, that's what Andy
Uh,
specifically wants.
So I do have some characters. I'd have to de-level some.
I was gonna say because you play a lot, like off
Lately,
stream.
yeah. Yes, I've been playing a lot off stream. I've been really lucky. I've got 2 weekly IRL games.
Oh
and
my
then
god.
Various, not weekly, bi-weekly, excuse me. Although the game is happening weekly because it's 2 DMs.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
referring to them as a DM-agorgon. and it's 8 players, and we are switching table to table every 3 weeks.
Oh,
And this is
interesting.
going to go on for like 2 years, a year and a half. And it's basically a super homebrewed reworking of the Stream of Annihilation reality.
Oh, cool.
But in both DMs homebrewed setting, and it's cool. So that's the stream. Actually, the stream one is only one of the games. The other one is entirely different, and it's more Underdark, and the other one is like one is 20 years earlier in time than the other in the same world.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so we'll see how. And so we've already had some of us who are playing on both tables. We've already had one character turn up in the past who's in the future.
Oh,
Yeah, so I mean they're long lived. It's only 20 years.
Yeah.
They're elves and whatever. So, but it's interesting. So I guess we can fuck up the future if we kill the guy in the past. He's already turned up, or unless he comes back.
very cool.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if I do any of those. Maybe I'll do an original. I did a one-off actually, a level character for a game. She was based on Catwoman. She was a Tabaxi rogue with I think 1 level of fighter. Her name was Perina Guile.
Love it.
Yeah.
I was talking actually to someone who didn't play a Tabaxi, but like an actual cat,
Okay.
and would like heal people by licking them.
Oh,
And it,
interesting.
Do that?
was causing all these problems, like mischievous cat type
Knocking
problems.
shit off
And
tables all the time.
And I
they
think
were
that
like,
was a different kind of game.
Exactly like that. And they were like, "Nah, this is why I shouldn't play D&D." And I'm like, "No, that's exactly why you
Why you
should
should.
play,
You have a
play
perfect feel
more
for this.
D&D. You're perfect for this game."
Oh.
It's funny. I've thought about that with Storm. Like, if I had shocking grasp, that'd be like the static thing when they like shock you and they rub up on you.
I'm picturing him using Mage Hand to push things off of tables.
I do call it Mage Paw when I use it.
That's true.
And what's the other thing I thought about with him? Oh, like at one point I was thinking of taking Aura of Vitality as a magical secret spell because it's a paladin spell that allows you to sort of once you get it going as a bonus action, someone can roll 2d6, like you or anybody in the aura that you want can get the hit points. And for flavor, I imagined it as him like purring, like just purring, and it's like it's this aura of like. But we'll see.
Which spell?
Aura of Vitality. It's a paladin spell.
Sorry, I misheard.
Oh, sure. Well, bards have all the options.
The magical secrets. Lore bards are great.
Speaking of Storm, would Storm have a crush on your Catwoman, Tabaxi?
He'd probably, God, yeah, she's beautiful, so he'd probably just be like, hi, and just leave himself wide open for the knife, He'd be a complete idiot. Unless, well, I don't know, he's got a good, I don't know. He's like me in some bad ways in that way, I think. Vulnerable to certain things.
Vulnerable
like,
to the
oh my
wiles of women.
I don't know. I'm an artist. I enjoy beauty. Beauty is,
It's beautiful.
Anyway, it's beautiful. Thank you. That is it.
Hit the nail right on the head there, Dan.
Absolutely.
Man in the universe.
It's like the guy who said, "I don't like pain. It hurts." Who was that? I don't know. Same neighborhood of thinking though.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, Storm would probably fall for Purina. That wasn't a fun game. The name of the one shot was called Everyone is Evil. And we were basically
Everyone is evil.
summoned to some house party, and there was this stuff going on. One of the other characters who was playing was basing their character on Jay Gatsby, which was kind of funny. And he had this NPC who was there, and then someone was murdering people, and we found out who it was. It was one of the other players was murdering people.
It was.
Yeah. Well, I got to finish a rival of Gatsby's rival. I killed surreptitiously because I did it to benefit Gatsby. Because I made friends with Gatsby at the beginning of the party, and I didn't like the rival, so he was in an accident and he was alive, but I killed him.
You could.
I went,
like,
let me check on him. I rolled a stealth check to hide sleight of hand.
I'm not saying you should do like full PvP during this stream crossover. I would definitely discourage that. But
if we did,
if you're going to accidentally kill another party member, this is the time to do it.
I think that you're going to be avoiding so much murder already that...
Avoiding so much murder?
You know, I get the feeling we're going to be like, this seems like it's going to be a meat grinder.
I was just
I would not be surprised,
yeah.
not only if it was a meat grinder, but if Andy turned on like meat grinder mode for this game.
Meat grinder Andy, that's what they call him.
The meat grinder confirmed monster. Look out. Yeah, I'd be down with that. Yeah, maybe Purina. I used a whip and everything. It was great.
Ooh, I love
Catwoman
the
style.
unconventional weapon.
Whip is pretty good.
Yeah.
You know another one? There was the Valkyrie that I made. I actually ended up drawing her, and her whole shtick was she keeps dying and coming back to life, and gets sort of a little bit more angelic every time she does it.
Oh.
So
She an
like
Aasimar? Yeah.
She was
Cool.
already an Aasimar, but then she became a zealot barbarian. She kind of started going in and out of the whole afterlife thing a lot.
That would definitely work well for a thing that you're probably going to be dying a lot in.
Don't worry, it happens all the time, guys.
This is
cut off her
completely
hand or
normal.
something, Bring it back to the church. It'll be great.
How about you, Liz? Do you have any ideas cooking up there?
No, I always have a bunch.
I just know whatever character she brings is going to roll exceedingly well on like at least one thing.
My characters have one good thing they can do, and that's it.
It's usually a dexterity related.
I thought
Isn't
it was usually intelligence related, isn't it?
Well,
With,
she's you were the arcane trickster rogue, and then
That-
you were also your arcane
Uh,
archer.
yeah.
So
the
common
archer-
denominator is arcane.
I will say that it was like it seems that Liz's character is the one that like I'm not saying that Liz should like avoid skipping episodes for personal reasons if she has to, but like of all the characters we can go one episode without, it's always seems to be like if Liz is gone, then like well shit, we're kind of like whoops, guess I better step into this fucking spike trap.
She's essential to the group, is what you're saying.
Kind of is.
Absolutely.
Liz posted a notebook of concepts, and every one of them were an immediate winner.
Oh yeah. I was watching what was I watching? Acone? I just started watching that,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was like, oh man, I'm gonna do a cute moe girl of like a Dungeons and Dragon party.
Uh-huh.
So I was just like, I'm just writing out characters, and then I posted it on Twitter, I think.
Oh, did you? My Twitter has been screwing up lately. I keep trying to set it to show me the latest posts, and it keeps resetting it to top posts, and I'm mad at it. Like every day, like it'll be every other day. So like one day I'll have it set to latest post, and then the next
Funny
day
you
when I
should
log
mention
in, it's like, hey, we're showing you the top posts again, and I'm like, why? Why do you do this to me?
Rip Twitter is actually trending right now.
Oh, really?
Did you miss something?
Well, you guys know my position
Yeah.
on Twitter. because they love Trump apparently.
It's for the facilitation of civility and debate on our website.
Civility.
There's not a single word I think I have grown to hate more than civility over the past couple years. It's like, really? I used to.
It's trotted out at
Yeah.
entirely the wrong times. I mean, I'm all for
Exactly.
being nice to people and, conducting yourself with dignity, especially if you're holding public office. But the fact remains is that, we got some very bad examples setting some shit up, and it's
You don't have
and they-
to be nice to people who are mean.
It doesn't
No.
cost you anything to be nice.
I know. I try to be.
some
a better
people suck
person.
though, and they deserve to be called out in public when they're trying to eat their bird.
That's true. Marty and Andy are both agreeing that Twitter is the worst.
Yes.
Twitter's only purpose is to give you anxiety disorder. That is why the website was invented.
Before I joined it, I always said that Twitter was for overshares. It's for people who have no impulse control, and they have to tell you everything. Like, I just ate a taco.
There
like,
are
and
definitely
also-
some
Wow.
people that are like that.
I also look in the mirror, and that is basically me. It's like, hey, you guys want to hear about me? Here's a picture of me in a suit with a brace on. I can stand on my own now. I'm very happy about it.
Oh, nice. Congrats. Yeah, how is your recovery going, Dan, if
It's
you
going
don't?
pretty good. I'm walking around a little bit. I went on a pretty long walk yesterday. Obviously, I had to take breaks, and I was still with my crutches, but
Mm-hmm. But
I'm
you're getting
amazed.
better?
yeah.
Good.
I'm amazed at just the way break healing has advanced. My friend Lex, I mean, it sounds like
it's not
you're...
It is not a break. It is a torn ligament.
Oh, tear is different. I tore a ligament when I was 15. That was no
They
fun.
can. I have been told though at this stage they can.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, you're young. You'll heal up just fine.
You
No,
got
I mean,
it,
if
kid. Chin up.
No,
Stiff
Don't
upper
worry,
lip.
they'll like take part of my ear and put it into another knee for me or something. I don't know. how.
Yeah, do the Mark Hamill thing. You heard about him when I think it was between Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. He got in a car accident,
Oh, jeez.
and yeah, he was in a bad wreck, and they did some reconstructive surgery using some skin graft from like part of his body. I forget where, but yeah,
Probably his butt.
he had. I think it was Mark Hamill's butt. I
I'm-
think that cleft in his chin is actually from dimpled ass.
I'm gonna believe that it was from his butt.
That's but
In
here's
my
the thing,
heart.
though. That's like the smartest place to take it from.
Sure.
I mean,
You got extra there.
But what if consequently all you could smell was ass?
Ooh, it's a curse.
that's like
Right?
that's like one of those like would you rather questions.
That's like a monkey's
Right.
paw thing.
Would you a monkey's paw?
It's like, oh man, I sure wish my skin was reconstructed. Oh yay! But it's
right. There's a big
literal
like
button.
it's like literally got a split down the center, and there's one cheek on one side and one cheek on the other, and your nose is like in between. It's like face cheek jowl, but the cheek goes all the way up into your hairline. Exactly. Hey, I saw Color Out of Space, man. Give me a break. It's a mind-bending shit. I recommend that film if you guys, especially all you Call of Cthulhu people.
I know. I need
Oh my-
to. I don't know if it's
Dude.
playing anywhere around here though.
It's on Blu-ray now. It's actually you can watch it on iTunes. You
Oh,
can pay
really?
whatever. It's fucking insane, man. It is great. Like it's very Lovecraft. Like Richard Stanley, the guy who made it, his mother used to read him Lovecraft stories when he was a kid, and he's always wanted to do this story, and because he thinks it's the most relatable. And I've seen it twice in cinema.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And Nick Cage delivers the Nick Cage goods in the most appropriate way. Like he's absolutely right for this, and he gets it. And but Stanley is the guy who I was talking about this. I think pre-game our last game,
Mm-hmm.
but he's the guy who made a bunch of indie like horror movies on like no money, and then the studio, of course, what studios do, they get this young director and they give him a movie, and he was going to make The Island of Dr. Moreau with Val Kilmer and Marlon Brando. That film was made, but Richard Stanley was kicked off set because he and the studio, or I guess they were like, he was a creative guy and wanted to do it a certain way, and they wanted him to do it another way, and then he and Val Kilmer didn't get along. So Kilmer was the star, so Stanley got fired, and they gave him a ticket to go to the airport, and he never showed up to get on his flight, and he basically made his way back to the production, snuck his way on set, and hid among all the extras. Like they all hid him. All the crew knew he was there, and he is in the film. Like it's all under Dr. Moreau's like Beastmen and shit. So he's actually on film in full Beastman makeup as an extra in the movie he got fired.
Oh my god, that's epic.
Yeah, there's apparently a documentary film called Lost Souls about this. I haven't seen it, but I heard about it once I sort of found out about him when I was reading about Color Out of Space, and my friend has seen it and says it's pretty insane. So I'll check it out at some point. But the point really being is this is his first major film back since then, and that was like 80s, 90s maybe.
Oh wow.
And it's great. It's really good. And he's going to do 2 more Lovecraft films for the same studio. And it's the same studio. It's Elijah Wood Studio, the guys who produced Mandy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if Cage is going to be in the next, but the next one's going to be the Dunwich Horror, which is an insane and also very awesome Lovecraft story. Also set on a farm with a family. So, 2 common denominators. The third one has not been announced, and there's speculation that it may be one that would require a bigger budget, and they're going to wait and see, because this one's doing well. I think it's making its money back because its budget wasn't so big.
Yeah.
And then the next one, if it does, you know what I mean? So the third one, they're thinking could be like Call of Cthulhu or something like that, which would be insane.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. So we'll see. But it was a nice start. I don't know why we started talking about that.
I don't Oh.
movies. Oh, because I said something wacky and I said I'd seen that recently.
Oh yeah,
That's why.
yeah.
Yeah, because there's
I
some
miss Call
stuff
of
that
Cthulhu so much. Just so
the
much
game,
like,
dude. We had a ball playing.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, I would like to play again. I've played now twice. I played the one game with you guys,
Mm-hmm.
and then I played with when I was at Necronomica. But
Oh,
I played
yeah.
the pulp version, which is like more kind of Indiana Jones style. Like I think you get more. You're buffed. Your characters are hardier. You have more hit points and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
or health, whatever they call it, life points. Yeah, so that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a fun game. I know that when we played Twilight Trails, it was a lot of fun, but I know that we probably drove Andy mad because we just were like,
Irony.
oh, there's this like scary situation. We're just gonna nope out of it. Like, we're out of
go
here.
that way.
But that's the way you have to play.
It
I mean, that's how you
is.
survive. My
Call
friend,
of Cthulhu is a game where running is okay.
right? My friend was playing one time, and she played a character who was really rich, and she just had all these henchmen, and she would order them to like run at the monster, and she'd like survive to the end of the game because she was rich and smart. You know, means an opportunity, I guess.
Yeah. It's a fun game though. And hey, we got like a good ending on Twilight Trails. Like,
Are you guys done?
yeah, it finished up.
Oh, I've got to check out the last episode.
Everything wrapped up in a nice, neat little package. It was really.
Did all the characters survive?
Yeah.
Or is that a spoiler alert? Wow.
Yeah.
No wonder Andy's gone mad.
That's why he's doing the murder dungeon.
Right, this stream drop distance is all about. It's like he's gonna be Arcade, the X-Men comics. He's gonna let us loose in Murder World.
Yeah.
Jimmy Jangles will make a return, but he'll be like the gritty reboot.
Oh my god, that would be so good. He's like, I'm back for revenge.
Right.
Wait, why are we saying this on stream where he can hear us?
Yeah. He's like thinking already for Star Chasers. Recurring villains are good. We have a recurring anti-hero friend of one of the Manchus.
Yeah.
What's the plural of Manchu?
Men's
Is it
shoon.
Manchus? Men. That is brilliant.
Makes perfect sense.
I believe
By the
that's
way,
a Marty
Marley's
joke that I
looking
stole.
increasingly amazing, but yeah, that's good.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, I wonder when Stars Without Numbers. Like, I wonder when our series finale is gonna be. It got renewed for another season.
Yeah, you guys got renewed.
We got a couple more episodes.
Oh, Stars Without Number? Oh yeah, we're only in episode 4 of season 2. Is that right?
It's
we haven't
interesting
even
though,
happened
'cause
yet.
I genuinely do think that the thing about Stars Without Numbers, like, this party could fall apart at any time.
Oh, for
without a-
sure.
Well, it's so we're all so squishy, really, in this world.
Well,
Like,
not
if we make
just
the
that-
wrong move, we could
Not
get
just that we're squishy,
squished
but
easily.
like
Oh, character situation
the
reality.
character situation is like any one of them could just be like, fuck this, I'm out, and would
Yeah.
be completely justified in doing so.
Sure.
I'm not like obviously I don't want to do that, but like
Right. Well, I guess it depends. We have to remain and we have to see what situations ensue and what they inspire. Like, I know. I mean, Lucifer is feeling, despite himself, increasingly more connected to everybody, and feels more like he's got to take care of them. He's
Mhm.
like little Jim Hopper kind of reality happening, where he's just like, oh fuck, like.
I can totally see that, especially with the last episode.
Right.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I've seen every episode.
Oh, Drake is starting to go a little bit crazy.
He is.
Just a little bit.
Doctor with gun is gonna, I think, maybe lean on the with gun part soon.
Oh,
Who knows?
no.
It's always like holstered. I always see Drake as like just on the verge of snapping. Like always like he's got like the forehead with all the sweat gathering. He's got like glasses. He's just like, yes, all right, I'll do it.
No,
But inside,
absolutely.
inside, he's
That's
just like, that gun is like, the holster snap is down, but that snap could come up.
he, and he now has like a gigantic beefy plant arm, and he could just at any point go like full gorilla mode and start smashing shit.
Does that arm like do things on its own when he's not paying attention? Like when he's asleep? Is it like
it might.
doing stuff?
I have thought about that.
Oh
yes.
man.
Does he wake up
Because it's-
across the room with like claw marks across the?
Well, because it's starting to become like an infection type deal. Like it's spreading. I think
Like-
that's like what I
like-
described to
Like
Sue.
venom, like parasite, like
Yeah, no,
symbiosis?
exactly like that. Exactly like that. And it's not like controlling him or anything, but like I
Yeah.
really love the way that Sue drew him. Like,
Oh
it's-
yeah. Thank
I
you.
don't know how you managed to get him like so perfect. Like just on my description, I was blown away.
I actually was super, super happy with how that turned out, so I'm glad that you liked it.
It's like perfect. I literally like I sometimes, you know, I will have like some it's like constructive criticism, but like I could not think of anything that I would change about that drawing.
Excellent. Excellent. Yes, you've fallen into my trap.
Even like he's like it's like he's a little bit like gaunt but also muscular. It's like he's like even the body type is like, no, this is exactly what I was thinking.
Oh,
He's living off a diet of pure protein and photosynthesis.
I was gonna say he probably doesn't actually eat like as much as a regular dude does.
Well, there are plants that eat meat, that eat
That is
things.
true.
You could be like a Venus flytrap and just like develop this cavity. You just put your food in, it just closes over it.
hmm
You don't have to chew. They could like maintain a full conversation without missing a beat and be eating a 5-course dinner at the same time.
gross.
Hey, man.
There's something really
Whatever.
gross about
it's
that.
It's all, relative. Humans are pretty gross.
I mean,
Stuff
yeah,
we do.
that's true. Oh, Liz, we did have a question for you from last stream about the Roboys. We were talking about the Roboys. How do you imagine, how tall and like what do they look like? Because like Marty and Andy were both saying that they were thinking that they were like knee-high robots, and I was saying that I thought that they were like taller, like adolescent K2SOs.
I was having like more of a like I always pictured them as like a little sort of like Gur-esque from Invader Zim.
That's what Andy was
So-
saying.
Yeah, so they would be about maybe a little taller than knee high.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I was the
I
one that was
imagine
wrong.
Herbie the robot from the Fantastic cartoon. This sort of weird, like, I don't know if you've ever seen that. Just that's how I always imagine him. He sort of hovers around.
That's how I pictured the face being. I pictured the face
Herbie's
being,
face
like-
with the LED sort of screen with the emoji
Yeah,
display.
and it's his little emoji faces.
Right. But
That's how Liz described it. I think there's a little emoji display essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That actually I got it from like an episode of Doctor Who where the Doctor had to land on this planet and the robots only like the only way they could communicate was through emojis.
Oh.
Yeah, it was kind of weird though because like it was only the face emojis,
Oh.
so it was just like they only get like it was like the robots were sort of killing people, so every time they were like
They were
had a
sort of
frowny
killing
face, they would just
people.
kill
They weren't.
people, and I was like,
look
oh.
out, right?
Yeah.
Well, well, if they'd mixed up the options, it might have been, like, is poop good or bad? Is like, what's gonna happen?
I did
Yeah.
do
Just
some
different faces.
with Otto when we played that Lasers and Feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, that was back in the day.
That was so fun.
It was fun.
That was insanely hilarious. Just so funny.
It was ridiculous.
The other eye is there and also looks awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, when I was drawing her first eye in the last stream, I was like, oh my god, it looks so big and like ridiculous. But now that both of them are in there, I feel much better about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they are set. It's good.
They're really pretty purple.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's from. I pulled the color from her original portrait that I did of her, which I'm always a super big fan of. That one.
So raven wings,
Yes. Yes.
and are they like literal or like energetic vestigial type?
I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure.
Are you pulling from the palette for the same tones?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
That way I don't go off
Yeah,
palette.
I love her green. I love her green outfit.
Oh,
The
thank
green of it.
you.
Yeah, green and purple are always great together. But the two tones that you have that are sort of the main purple and the main green for her, I really dig together.
I super love purple's my favorite color, so I super love
It's the hottest blue. It's the hottest cool and the coolest hot
exactly.
as far as colors go.
Hey Mojave, what's going on? But yeah, and then green. I just love all of the cool spectrum colors. Really, like purple, blue, and green are my favorite colors. Although I've been kind of digging red a lot lately, also mixing red into a lot of things.
I'm ride or die blue.
That's your number one.
I will be blue until the day I die.
You
Although
you
I admit,
stand
like,
blue, as they say, as the kids say.
it's such an asinine thing to like really commit to, but yeah, for sure.
I will kill somebody about some blue.
Are you talking shit about my favorite color? my favorite color
In the
of
world.
royal blue? Do you want to fight, good sir?
Would you like to engage in fisticuffs over our favorite colors?
My honor is at stake, okay? Man, I looked up royal blue. It's not even like the good blue.
No.
It's a little too bright, I think.
It's a little too, like, fake.
Too Superman. A little too Superman blue.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
I
a
found
little...
a very pleasant, like, muted blue, and I think that might be
I like my favorite blue is Kingfisher blue,
Ooh.
which is like it's like a blue gray.
Ooh.
It's like the color of a sky on sort of a
Or like a
semi-cloudy
lightly,
day.
a lightly sort of used pair of jeans or something.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds
Or
very
like-
pleasant.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like a soothing, like a day where there's sun but there's not glare.
Ooh.
I want to paint my walls with that.
Kingfisher blue, do it,
Yeah,
man.
I want to paint my wall with that.
It'll hold a lot of good light.
I can't because I don't own my own house, but yeah.
Your landlord doesn't let you paint?
Well, I mean, my landlord's my dad, so.
Oh, well. Dad will let you paint. When was the last time the walls had a coat of paint?
Quite recently, this is a new. He actually built it.
Oh, cool.
Cool. Your dad's a carp?
No, my
You're
dad
an
is a contract. He renovates condos and
Nice.
then sells them, and then renovates another one, and then he's
And you
nomadic,
move into each one,
essentially.
yeah. My
And by nomadic, I mean we stay in the same place for like 2.5 years, and then
until the house
sell
gets
it.
sold.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I know someone who grew up that way.
That's very
Quite
interesting.
nice, actually.
Well, it's just it's really interesting when you think of like the things that people get into and like how the ancient tradition of like family and the family business. I mean, you raise your kids, you do your thing, you raise your kids, and you live your life, and the kids pick up on norm based on how you conduct your life. So for you, that was normal, where dad would do this thing, you guys move in, you live there for a while, that's one gets sold, and the next one, you move to the next
The
one,
thing
that's
is,
done.
he didn't really start doing that until until I was like in my mid-teens. Like,
Oh.
because my parents got divorced when I was around 14.
Hmm.
I guess this is just Daniel's life story stream now.
That's cool. Stories are good. Backstories are always good.
My parents got divorced when I was around 14, so we were like, and then sort of my dad started. He rented an apartment for about a year, and then he started this sort of spree of renting. He would go, he would move, he would renovate a condo, and then he would sell the condo and leave.
That's
So we
interesting.
turned it into a thing.
Yeah, well, this is the second time he's done it in the past couple years, and I'm all along for the ride. But hey, bonus is I get to live in a nice condo.
Hey, there you
for a
go.
while, and then
And you're gonna
maybe
but
I
you're
don't
going to
know.
Nova Scotia soon, so you won't
That
be.
is true.
You'll still keep your stuff there, or
I'll, no, I'm probably going to be living in Nova Scotia full time. Nova
well,
Scotia's not. I can't like go back and forth. Once I'm in
no,
Nova
no, no.
Scotia,
But I mean,
I
like,
am.
you're not gonna like keep stuff in storage at your dad's or something. Or...
I might keep some, but like realistically, once I go to Nova Scotia, I am in Nova Scotia.
Right.
Oh,
Because you
wow.
gotta get to PAX from there easily. So
He's gonna talk you into it.
Maybe one time I will go to PAX. But I'll leave you guys.
Just
of
once.
course, when we're gonna go, we're not gonna be like, we got him to go. We're not going this year. It's like, come on, we're gonna jump off the bridge,
We're
you
going
know,
to
and then you
Comic-Con
jump
instead.
and we
We're going
don't.
to
We're like,
Comic-Con instead.
That sucker.
That's not how we do it.
Without giving me a bunch of support.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm getting my tickets though until this coronavirus thing shakes out. I mean, I'll
Mhm.
go
I feel
to
like that would
Philly.
be-
I'll go to Philly to meet up with everybody and play D&D together in person again. Because that was fucking awesome. But like, even though we didn't really play D&D, Andy and I played D&D. Well, we played D&D at the tables
Yeah.
with you, and with but
I
different.
was your DM.
It wasn't our game. You were a great DM.
Oh, thank
Andy
you.
and Andy. But Adventures League is different.
Yeah.
That's all I mean.
For sure. For
Um,
sure.
I do have an Adventures League druid named Ratface Phil. He's a garbage dwelling druid who
Oh.
lives in Waterdeep. He's
Does he
very
turn
fun to
into a
play as.
rat like with
He
his
does
animals?
not actually.
He just has a
favorite
rat face. Come on.
He has like buck teeth. His favorite transformation is a giant spider.
Because it's so counterintuitive. They think, oh, he's gonna go rabbit, he's gonna go
Rat
beaver,
mode.
he's gonna go spider. Woo!
Exactly. Like,
Freaks
duh.
him
Why
out.
would I do rat? Come on,
Does the
that's so
spider
impractical.
have buck teeth though?
Yes, the spider still has a name like Snaggletooth if he does.
I love it.
He's adorable, but the main reason he's adorable is not because of his character. It's because his voice kind of sounds like this.
He's
Huh.
like 13. He hasn't gotten out of puberty yet.
Yeah, basically, I swear it's not as annoying and much funnier in person, but I don't think it would translate well if I just did it here. Like,
You know,
I
just
genuinely feel
Slip into
like,
character for 5 minutes, and we'll let you know.
Oh, jeez, I hope I
There you
have
go.
to.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like this is just gonna make everyone upset.
I was playing oh god, maybe I'll bring this guy to Andy's game. I was playing a goblin. Yeah, maybe we have an all goblin party. I was playing a goblin bard, but like according to my idea that goblins only live to be like 40, so the idea is that they sort of get adulted too young, and that's why goblins are so crazy and why everything is so dysfunctional and fucked up. So like
That makes
he's
a
like
lot of sense.
he's like 12 years old, but he's like already been in charge of stuff that's gone wrong.
He's ready
he's
for
got, like,
retirement.
And he's got like headgear, so he talks like this a little bit.
So, what I was thinking.
Like that's his character.
That
So
would be so much fun.
I played him in one game, in a Adventures League session. Actually, that's what reminded me of it.
Oh, nice.
At my friendly local gaming store. I'm actually gonna have 3 in-person games because I'm gonna start doing games at the 20-sided store again.
Oh,
'cause they-
nice. Nice.
Yeah. Well, they do original adventures, and I guess, waiting to have them come out for various sort of real life reasons, and then also like, they wanted to get the writing right. They weren't just going to rush them out. So they're now going to have Chapter 4 original adventures things happening. They do it like every week as this continuing sort of thing where you sign up for like 4 sessions,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like 3-4 hour sessions basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then you sort of I think I can bring a character that I brought through, but that's gonna be fun. So I'll have 3 IRL games plus the occasional one shot.
Nice.
We have a different IRL game that's also called the IRL game because we're all playing versions of ourselves.
Oh.
You know those which D&D character quiz tests that they have. Are you
Mhm.
like you fill out like 150 questions and then it says you are an elf ranger or something like that, and
Uh-huh.
it gives you stats and all that stuff based on these questions. So a bunch of us took it that I play with live took these quizzes, and this guy Percy wanted to DM, and so he's like, yeah, I'm gonna run a game. You guys are all play yourselves. You know, do the first level of whatever it says, but you can multi-class. And he had us figure like the level of what our characters would be was based on our chat activity in Discord, and he would take the average high level, but everybody chatted so much that everyone got maxed up to 20. So
Oh my god.
we played a 20th level game where basically New York City was becoming this magical environment, and we sort of kind of noticed it, and then we noticed we had powers, and it was bizarre. Like I went to use the bathroom at a bar, and there were these two half orcs making out in the bathroom, and I was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
and then I
That
walked
sounds
out.
like
and
New York.
Yeah, exactly, right. And but so we did one episode, and now after that episode, we encountered some of our actual D&D characters, and we had to fight them.
Oh wow.
And then but then we sort of reformed them and brought them back into the real world. So now three I think D&D characters have been rehabilitated and are now sort of like living with their respective owners. Waiting to
That's
see what's going to happen
awesome.
with my So we have another session at the end. It's basically a once a month,
Oh
so
cool.
that's fun. But we de-leveled down to 6 for the last session because Percy was
Probably.
like, that was insane. And like, okay, you guys are out of the magical world. You still got stuff. Oh, and another cool thing was like, we all made like 350 gold or something each
Uh-huh.
after the adventure, and we figured out how much that would be in like our world currency. So we all have like $3.5 million or something like that. 600
Dang.
gold each or something. So
Damn.
the first part of the session was like,
Task Force Unlikely.
so
You
what have you
guys are
guys
a
been
money
doing
bug.
for the past month? And like, I'm not kidding you, like 8 out of 10 people were like, I pay off my student loans. I pay off my student loans. I pay off my student.
Amazing.
You know, because it was like being yourself in this situation. I'm like, yeah, I'm still living in this apartment, looking into buying a place, sort of out of the city, and I'm gonna figure out how to sort of finance becoming a vigilante. And I know this guy who like actually works as a private investigator in New York and has access to like super high level surveillance equipment, and like people with him are like former police and like like FBI guys and stuff. It's a private corporation, I guess, the company he works for. But I was like, and I want to recruit my friend Steven to be my guy in the chair because he da 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 da. And Percy, like the DM, like ran. He was like, oh my god, this is amazing. So Steven became this like NPC in the game. He was like our quest giver. He's like, Timothy, I found out some shit. Da da
He's
da
your
da.
Q.
You know, it was so cool.
That's so
And
good.
and Steven also, by the way, plays D&D, and he ran when I was playing 4th edition. He was the DM I had, so I sent him a message after the game. I'm like, dude, you're an NPC in our game, and he's like so into it. It's so cool. Anyway,
awesome.
yeah, and Percy just started DM. Like, he's really awesome. He's splitting the difference really well between like preparing just enough
Mm-hmm.
and winging it just enough.
Nice.
Because we're certainly giving him shit to work with. So. But we're
Oh.
figuring out that like one by one our characters are in the real world and they're screwing up shit.
Oh.
So we're sort of having to face them. They're like the boss of the month is one of our characters, I guess.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, and my character in that game was a paladin Triton.
Ooh.
Yeah, who was really a defender of the oceans and stuff. So I have Percy's gonna make him some sort of eco-terrorist. Because I mean, if I had the powers, I'd probably do the same thing. Because of how I feel about the way humans treat the Earth. But anyway, blah
Captain
blah blah.
Planet. But with
Yeah,
edge.
pretty much. But a fish who's a paladin with glaive, right? But yeah. Blah blah blah. Someone put a quarter in me. Oh, Andy left.
Yeah,
He's like,
Andy had to go. Bye,
he was
Andy. I
like,
hope you
I
feel
can't-
better.
Bye,
I
Andy.
can't stand hearing about this game anymore. That's what he said.
No, I'm sure he's recovering. Poor guy.
I know. I hope he. I mean, it's weird, in this world where you're like, oh, I'm coughing. Okay. Do I have a fever? How do I feel? I'm gonna wash my hands. I'm gonna wash my hands again. Yeah, I'm gonna wash my hands again. Okay. Yeah, I can bleach this. I'm gonna bleach that. I don't know. Stream of consciousness.
Marty wanted to know in chat if we have any color palettes that we tend to stick to when like deciding on the visual
art?
look of our characters.
How about you?
Me, I always go towards purple first. Like, just because it's my favorite color, and so that's like my autopilot. I do tend towards the darker color palette, just for everything. Mostly because I also just don't like yellow or like orange that much. So I kind of trend away from those a bit. And my other big thing is I don't care to make my characters have like brown hair or brown eyes. I don't know why. I tend to like gem colored eyes of various colors, and then either one extreme or the other when it comes to hair color. I either like really really light like white or blonde or white blonde, or like really really dark like black or like a odd colored hair.
No gingers, huh?
I like I'm not opposed to it. I've just never like
Bardic is upset.
So Storm is a ginger Tom. I don't know if you've noticed.
That's true. That's true. I have nothing
joke.
against gingers. Like
Right.
dance
Ginger
lab.
animals are always the coolest.
I would hope
animals.
not. Our DM is one.
Oh.
Isn't it?
Is he? I don't think he is.
He's got a little ginger in him. I had,
Can't
before
tell.
my hair went, the way of silver and white. I had a lot of different colors in my hair, including some
Yours
red.
Really?
Oh really?
Oh yeah, I had my overall. I guess my grandmother just called it.
No, I mean,
chestnut
like,
brown.
now
It's
your
like
hair is
reds
really
and blondes, and now my hair is what?
I said I mean now your hair is really nice. Like I don't know
Oh.
what it looked like before, but it's really
Oh.
nice now.
Oh, thank you. You're kind. Thank you. It's my entire changing is weird. Growing and changing and whatever. My hair's I'm a man and I'm itching, so my hair's changing. And it has been my entire life though. So, but thank you. I appreciate that. Shot in the arm, positive feedback. Yeah, I started graying when I was like 18.
Really?
Yeah, just that's when I first started noticing the hairs, and then I
Uh-huh.
started to get like the Doctor Strange white in the front, like the curl, and then I had the Reed Richards temples
Oh,
shit going on
nice.
too first, and then it gradually took over my head. And it was like real salt and peppery, but
Mhm.
the stuff that had been originally been gray started to go white, silver, and then white. It was like gray, silver, white was the journey, and then it's gradually just going white from silver.
I think
My
you
beard
rock the
grows
white
in,
well. I have to say.
Thanks.
Yeah.
My beard grows in like red now for some reason.
See, it's in there.
Do you have any like Scott Irish blood in you or anything?
No, I'm 100% Yehudi.
Do you have Ashkenazi?
I'm all Ashkenazi.
Yeah, there you go.
Only Ashkenazi. So, yeah,
Does
maybe a little bit.
Ashkenazi have like red tones
A
in there?
lot of red
It's-
hair.
Oh.
It's rare, but it exists.
Oh.
Yeah. But like usually Jews do have red hair.
I
that
have to
I've
admit, I
have
don't
had
know
that
a
in
lot
my
about like the Jewish like facial like features or like hair features and
So
stuff.
much variety,
Yeah,
really.
I'm not as familiar with the what the depths of it all is. Oh.
But yeah, I mean, facial hair especially is weird. I mean, for a man growing a beard, like your head hair is one thing, and then your beard can come in an entirely different color
That
with some
it
people.
surprised me. It surprised me when my beard was like red. It's like, what?
Mhm.
Where did this come from? I like it. Like, don't get me wrong. I got no problems with it. It's- I
Do you have
don't
red
know.
in your hair? Have you just like did having it come out in your beard make you go, oh my god, I have got red in my hair?
Yes.
Oh my god,
I
am I
mean-
a ginger?
Right? Secret ginger. You like wait, you lift up the top layer and it's like bright Judas's carrot top, red, you know.
God, I'm glad Andy's not around.
He's recording it, you know he is, and he's gonna
Ah,
post it
shoot.
anyway later.
He's gonna
Gonna
listen
watch
to
it.
all of this
He's
later.
he's just laying in bed scheming. He's not.
I
He's just
feel
not in
a-
chat. He's still listening and chuckling to himself, and then he'll get
Maybe.
mad at us if he chuckles and then it leads to a coughing fit. So he'll be like, "Oh, damn them for being funny. I'll get them."
That's the
exactly
real
what Andy
reason why
sounds
he
like.
had to get off of
That's
the
exactly
chat.
what Andy sounds
We're
like,
too funny.
okay. Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
We were just too hilarious. He was going into too many coughing fits. He couldn't take it.
Obviously, what was happening?
Totally legitimate.
Totally legit, man.
Oh. But yeah, does anybody else have any like color schemes that they tend to stick to, or any colors or anything with their characters?
I don't know. I think I put it in chat. I just like to do the darker tones just because they feel like a little realer.
Mm-hmm.
I usually try to work gold in there somewhere. Like Tarbeck is all like red and gold, and
Well, you're all about the forge and metals and fire and shit, so that makes sense.
well,
you
not
know?
with like Vinny. Vinny, I didn't really work much gold into it, but like when I play a paladin, I try to work gold in there.
Hmm,
Uh,
interesting.
yeah.
That's cool. I guess I don't know. I always say the green is the color of my soul.
Oh yeah.
Because I love nature and I always respond really well to it. And I feel like I'm green inside, you know. I'm a tree man, or something. What were you gonna say?
I did have a friend with synesthesia who said I have like a yellow soul, but I don't know what that means.
That's interesting. In terms of like chakras and stuff, the yellow chakra is supposed to be like mental energy, like
Mhm.
cerebral
I've
brain
heard.
energy. So maybe your friend sees you as you know,
Thinks I'm smart.
strong in the brain, or that's present in your aura. Maybe, who knows?
Something like that.
Or you
Yeah.
think about things a lot.
You were doing math when he looked at you.
Yeah.
I am very neurotic. Maybe that's what he saw. Or
Mental activity, sure. What's your sign? When's your birthday?
I am a Capricorn. My birthday is December 27th.
Boy, that's cool. And what's your ascendant? What's your rising sign?
I don't know what that means.
Well, what it is if you know the time you were born and where you can plug that stuff into any one of those free astrology, get a free chart online things. But you need to know your time of birth precisely and where you were.
Yeah,
And
you need to know
your-
like
your-
down to the minute.
Yeah, because your rising sign, they say, is what rules your chart. It was literally the sign that was coming over the horizon when you were born. And it's what you sort of grow into. Like, so I'm just curious because you might have an air sign, which is a mental or cerebral, might rule your chart. Who knows? Or it might figure prominently with one of your other personal planets. If you go for that kind of stuff. Sounds like Marley wants to go for that and be an astrology druid.
Oh my god, I love like astrology and like
Absolutely.
stars and oh my god, yeah. I'm not like super knowledgeable about it, but like I
There's a
love
lot
to
of
dabble in it, you know? Like
Sure.
yeah.
It is. Why is it invalid?
Your time of birth is invalid.
Man.
What's invalid? What did you put in?
Ascendant Sagittarius. I don't know what that means.
Oh, okay. So, Sagittarius is fire sign. It is a mutable sign, so it's adaptive. It's ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is very expansive. Sagittarians tend to be very charming. They tend to be. They tend to sort of have this sense of knowing things. Jupiter wants to expand and make things bigger. So you probably come across, since it's in your first house, which is your house of self. So it affects how you come across and you meet people. Um, Sagittarians are it's a fire sign, so fire has to do with like inspiration, passion, that kind of thing. The fire signs are Aries,
Mhm.
Leo, and Sagittarius. And
So all
Aries
this
is the cardinal, the leader, and Leo is the organizer, the fixed sign, and Sag is the mutable, the communicator. So it's about very often whatever it is that you like to do, the things that, and they're very, I mean, traditionally Jupiter in that house is the house that it rules is about, for Sagittarius, the 10th house is about education, higher education and learning. So, you know, not every Sagittarius is a book learning genius, but that is sort of a philosophical sort of bent to things. They tend to sort of look at things from a big view, a sort of expanded view. They get the big picture kind of people. Optimism, um, you know, that's sort of general. But you know, like Soup said, there's a lot to know, and there's a lot I don't know
Yeah.
about astrology. But that just what little I can speak of. You know, my sun sign is Aries, which is you know, all about the
I
self.
admit, I very much have never been into astrology, but like I guess I recently realized there's a lot more people into it than I thought were. So yeah, it's cool.
It's really neat to kind of like look at the different concepts and stuff that it presents and like see how it does kind of like maybe coincide with some of the themes you find in like your everyday life, and that's why I find it interesting at least.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah. It's another system of figuring shit out. You know,
Yeah.
we come up with that stuff as you know, sentient, curious, questing beings, and it's just another system for understanding ourselves and the world we live in. I think, you know, and there are many different ones.
I don't understand anything about the world I live in.
There you go.
It's kind of depressing.
You've shown that the greatest, first, most important, consistent step of wisdom that you know nothing.
You know nothing.
I'm frickin' Socrates, baby.
So it looks like Marty's asking about
Yes, he wanted to
alignment
know
or
how about
particular
alignment.
values that show up across characters and types. I tend to go. I like to play chaotic neutral with good tendencies. But I realized that I myself, and in life, I'm probably more closer to lawful good. Just because I believe in the rule of law. But it's more about a code. It's like Batman lawful good rather than it's illegal to smoke pot lawful good. You know what I mean?
I
So
actually
that's
have a
true.
paladin. I have a lawful good paladin. One of his like character traits is he fucking loves getting high.
Right on. So he's like Paladin of the Ancients, right?
No, he's like
I
a
was gonna say.
he's a very like straight edge, like
Oath.
oath of vengeance paladin
Vengeance?
of fear. Oath
Oh.
of vengeance paladin. He just likes getting high.
That's interesting because the
420
word
plays it, I guess.
assassin. You know
He
where
loves
we
to
get the
blaze.
Do you know where we get the word assassin?
No.
Yes, Hashashin. It's
That's
from
right, you know
a group
about
of old Shia mystics who used
That's
to
right.
go around smoking and then murdering people.
They
And the
were like
first
this
assassins were-
intense warriors who would fucking hotbox
Yep.
hashish. They're called the Hashashin, and they were such ruthless killers that assassin, assassin, and assassinate all comes from that.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
they were an ancient Shiite military order. They just get super fucking blazed and murder people.
To get really focused in the zone.
No, but here's the
Okay,
thing.
guys, we can't. No jokes. We've really got to get focused to kill these guys. Okay, all right. You
Pass
ready?
that shit now.
Pass it. Puff, pass. Stop talking. Let's go. We gotta kill. You get
Well,
to
here's
see
the
that,
thing.
like,
Here's the thing.
how many centuries did that take to get going? If that
But-
was like the motivator, it's like
If you think about it, though, here's the thing. Vikings also did that. That's what berserkers were.
That's
yeah,
true.
they totally go into a trance, and they absolutely take on it's shamanic, really.
Yeah.
Berserkers, you know,
For sure.
for sure, man.
For sure, man. Totally shamanic.
Totally shamanic, man.
Oh.
That's like fucking Bodrud, my one-shot barbarian.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was so much fun.
Bodrud.
I admit,
That's
the
when
reason
Target first came around.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. That was the first instance of Tarbeck.
Next time you guys are up short on a Task Force Unlikely with a player, and I'm available, but Bodrud should come in as a guest shot.
Just
Yeah.
calls it. Tarbeck is like, hey,
Bodrud."
Bodrud.
We need Bodrud. Yeah, right. I guess it's come down to this shit. Right.
Oh, this guy again.
Exactly.
I feel like Tarbeck wouldn't mind. But Tarbeck probably has, like, much dumber adopted children than Bodrud.
Sure. Bodrud's not necessarily dumb. He's just not smart.
He's just far out, man.
It's
far
just,
out, man.
you know,
I feel
devoted
like
to
his-
some tasty ways.
for all I know, he could be like a Harvard professor level of smart, but like, just because of the way that,
Sure.
unfortunately, it's like the surfer accent just makes people kind
That's
of
right.
sound.
Absolutely.
not their own
It's the
fault.
prism through which the light of brilliance must pass. It cannot help but be refracted in a certain way.
Exactly. I don't
Uh,
know what any of that means.
Yes, you do.
You've got Sagittarius.
That's right.
You know what it
Oh,
means.
man. You
I
let
was
go.
actually getting super high with someone yesterday, and it's legal here, so I could do it in public.
Nice.
No, it was a very interesting experience. Usually, I do not react well, but this time,
Here's the
pretty
thing,
awesome.
man. I have a theory about that because I went for many years where I didn't smoke, and I just hated it. I hated the way I felt, mainly the way I thought when I did it. And then I don't know what happened. I graduated from school. I was traveling abroad. I was in some youth hospital in Bruges, and this like Dutch guy was like, "Hey, man, I've got some hash. You want to smoke?" And I was like,
you want to smoke some
I was like,
hash?
"Sure," and I did. I never had a problem after that. It was never the same. It was just the way it used to be back when I first started. It was better, ever. Than
It could just
had
be
ever
like
been.
the type of experience that you were
Well,
having.
here's my thought about this, Daniel, is that when you used to smoke, it probably wasn't legal, right?
That, you know what? That is not necessary. I actually don't remember now that I think about it.
Because it's only been legal, right?
For about a year
sort
and a
of-
half.
Right? So, like, you might just be at a point, plus you're at a place in your life where you're like, law school, you know what I mean?
also,
Like,
like,
you've sort of
it was-
leaped some thresholds.
There was no. I think it's because there were like. It was just me and one other person this time. The time I did before was like a lot of people around, a lot of peer
Yeah.
pressure.
Sure.
And so I think my anxiety just went fucking crazy.
Sure, I think pot is a great amplifier. I think that, you know, if you're feeling nervous about something, you're going to feel really nervous about something. If you're feeling chill, you're going to feel really chill. You know?
Mhm.
I mean, alcohol can do that too, in some ways, I think.
Yeah, but
Yes.
alcohol. I do like alcohol, but alcohol has some. I feel like alcohol has some side effects that.
Alcohol is a
Occasionally.
great revealer of things.
Yeah.
You can see the truth in someone's face.
Are
when
we
they
gonna
say-
get banned from Twitch?
Why? Just from talking philosophically about the ways that we've observed people, you know,
Substances.
thrash their way through life.
Don't abuse substances.
That's right.
everybody.
Drink,
Don't
drink
subs-
responsibly.
That's right.
Marty says,
drink-
"Do you guys hear sirens?"
They're moving in.
Jesus.
Oh no, sirens! They're trying to sing. Please tie me to the mast.
That's right. I want to hear it. No, I want to hear it.
Marty also says, which is why I don't love the idea of barbarian rage as actual anger. It's shamanic. It's trance.
Yep.
It's not just gets angry, gains superpowers. I like that
No,
too.
It's
Yeah.
like entering this certain state between. I think between two. You're sort of allowing something to sort of partially fill you
Mm-hmm.
and
For
call
sure.
the shots, right?
I feel like it
Like
could
Wild
depend
Shape,
on
too.
like the character also,
Sure.
like the way that you
Sure,
want
sure,
to
sure.
play it.
And the oath,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because the flavor, I mean, the chaos, whatever that is, the wild rage one, where
Mhm.
it's like you roll on the chaos magic table when you rage. That's so wackadoo, but fun,
Yeah.
dude. Oh, and in this IRL game, I was telling you, the last session we had, one of our games, not the one we're playing ourselves.
Mhm.
We were going through different physical contests at this goblin rodeo, basically, and every time each one of our characters had a different event, and we had to oppose the goblin champ, the local champ, and every time we had a clean sweep, as it turned out. We all the dice was with us and everything, and we selected our events wisely, I guess, relative to our things. But after each one of these things, we go get a drink. It was like, well, what is it? And we just sort of I think I ad libbed wild magic whiskey, and there's John. John was like, yes, roll on the wild magic table.
That's an amazing idea.
And it was hilarious. Two people were glowing like with bright light, so that anyone right next to them was blinded, and they wound up being sitting next to each other, so they blinded each other, and but only for the duration of whatever. Another guy shrunk 5 inches, and he was the paladin, so he's like barely peeking out of the top of his arm, and like when he's speaking, it's like an echo chamber, and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, well, our sorcerer just like became instantly the second, like just grew to like 6'7", and now is back down to 6'3", like a more man. She was like point guard, then she went up to like power forward. Now she's back down to point guard.
I love that you're using basketball to explain.
I have been watching so much basketball. Like,
My dad loves watching basketball. He says that it's a perfect sport for television because of the court size. You can just pan
That's true.
back and forth. You don't really need to zoom or go to other cameras
the
necessarily.
ball is big. It's not like hockey
Right.
where it's super easy
Or-
to track
Or
what's going on.
soccer. Soccer stands out. Football, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
Oh, you read it? Awesome football. I'm not a huge fan of American football. I love basketball.
I love the U.S. women's soccer team. I'll tell you that much.
I do too.
Yeah, well,
They don't get
I
paid
love
nearly enough.
everything. No, they fucking do not. I bought a Megan Rapinoe shirt after
They
that.
don't take no
She's
shit.
I could cosplay as her, actually. She and I have a similar look.
I used to
I should
play
do that.
soccer for a very long time.
What did you play?
I played middle back position.
Uh-huh.
So I was kind of the one that was calling the shots from the backfield.
That's
Mid-
actually really
Mid
cool.
fullback?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played fullback. That was my preferred. I would go center or left.
Oh yeah.
Usually. I could play right, but because I was right-footed, for some reason, playing left was easier. I don't know why.
Mhm.
I would play midfield too. I didn't like being a striker or a scorer. I didn't
Yeah,
like it.
I wasn't
just-
really a
something-
sprinter. I was like a long distance person. So
I could sprint. I could do it. I don't know what it was. I think it was where I was psychologically in my life about that kind of I had no problem confronting someone coming at me and getting it away from them and getting it out the fuck, and I would just boot the fucker way out of the way. But the idea of going in and having all these defenders coming at me, maybe I don't know. But what was that?
oh, that was Chris was playing something.
I like it.
But yeah, I played for over 10 years. Pretty much since I was real little up and through my junior year. And there was a lot of politics in the local soccer community.
Oh.
So I just kind of ended up piecing out of it. It was basically
Yeah.
like a lot of the rich girls got priority and I was
God.
not.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing cross country instead. So
Cross country is like really refreshing. Like I gotta say, one of the nice things about cross country is like, I'm not saying anyone can do it, but it's like very much a sport that like the non-athletes were able to basically enter the cross country club at my high school, and it was really nice.
yeah.
It's less pressure. I mean, it's about. I think like any sort of long distance running. For me, it I had a learning curve on it just because I am a naturally fast and sprinty kind of person.
Mm,
But I had problems initially with like pacing myself and like building, like knowing when to breathe. It's like I was
yeah.
thinking too much about it again, like I was referring to before. And then as I got old, when I got older, I was with a lady who liked to run, and I would go on runs with her, and
Oh.
we'd run for like 2 miles. And I remember my first run, I ran as fast as I could because I was just trying to get it over with. And I fucking killed myself. Like I was like,
no.
oh my god, at the end. And then later, I was like, okay, I've done it. I'm gonna do it. I know I can do it. I know I can do the course. I'm just gonna chill out. And I find running with someone a lot easier because you
Yes.
sync up
Yes.
and you find that sort of paired or group heartbeat, and you just and then it becomes this contest with yourself, and then it gets really zen,
Yes.
and the endorphins start to kick in, and it's just checking at, like I used to run around Still Lake in San Francisco right around just before sunset, so like the climate was such that and when I exercise, my body runs hot, so like I'll start with a sweatshirt and then like go down to like the tank because I'm warm, and I'll run that way. But then the atmosphere was perfect because you'd finish, you'd stare at the lake, the endorphins are all going, and you start to, that post-run trip out, and then like, put your thing back on and warm down, and it was just perfect. So I feel you on the long distance, the cross country stuff, like.
Yeah. It was very peaceful. And my brother did it also, which was also like a big like pull, because then it was like, oh well, then I know, somebody who's doing it. It's not like I'm just like switching a sport and going with like a bunch of people I don't really know or whatever.
Right.
Because like my school was big enough that like, you could not know somebody that you've been in classes with for 4 years or whatever. So.
Sure. One of these super schools.
Yeah,
3,000 kids or whatever.
Yeah, I can't remember our exact school size, but yeah, it was in the thousands for sure. So
it's crazy, man.
Yeah,
it's hard to. Yeah, I don't know. It's like the superstore concept.
my homeroom teacher didn't even know that I was in his homeroom and was graduating the night that I ended up graduating.
Oh my god.
Because that's just, they have so many kids that they're, looking after. He had no idea. Like, we were lining up to go out onto, like, the football field to start the graduation ceremony, and he was like, what are you doing here? And I was like, I've been in your homeroom for the last 4 years. What do you mean? What am I doing here?
Yeah,
I'm
you
graduating.
You don't know shit, dude. So you say back to him.
Yeah. It was not the first time that I've had a teacher ask me what am I doing there.
Man.
Oh. What did Marty say? He said my wife's favorite tweet of the previous year: for a country that doesn't like women or soccer, America is really good at women's soccer.
It's true.
It's true.
It's true. Well, they have been. I mean, when Mia Hamm was in,
Oh my god, yeah.
she was amazing back in the day.
Ugh.
And, like,
So
the
good.
yeah, really, really powerful. I played like the Parks and Recreation. That was like summer leagues kind of thing, which would go into autumn, basically.
Yeah.
Start in the spring, it would like run for like 6 months. It felt like, and then that was cool. So if I think what maybe you went through, but without the politics.
Yeah, that was like my schedule was fall was for school, winter you did indoor, and then in the spring you did club soccer, and then during summer you would do training for fall. So it was a lot of politics of like what club that you did in the spring versus which school you were going to in the fall, because we also have like a lot of schools in this area that are very like competitive with each other.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a very intense like kind of program that I did for probably way too long.
Wow.
To be honest.
It sounds like the kind of pressure that stereotypically is supposed to be on Asian students.
Yes.
That I'm
Or
wondering.
like those like really intense like football leagues, like in
Right.
Texas and stuff. It
Sure.
was a very
Any
similar.
kind of parental or upper generation pressure on lower generation to just perform and deliver, and that's
Yeah.
hard, man.
Yeah. And my parents were very much like, well, if you're having fun, then do it. But if you're not having fun, then don't do it. You know. So
Sure.
they were not like the parents that were like, you have to succeed or else. You know. They were like, you know, it's something that you're supposed to be doing for fun. And so when I would play club in the spring, I was on like the more like casual, like fun team. I wasn't on like the super competitive team. And so then when it came around to fall, I had been on a different club team than everybody else. So everybody else was like, oh, on these foo-foo like elite teams, and I was just like, I mean, we have fun. Like, we just play for fun, you know. Like, oh, it was an interesting time in my life.
Sure. Life is interesting.
And I
Full
got
of
a
weirdness.
scholarship out of it, so
Yay,
That's
scholarship.
awesome.
that's what matters.
Yeah. What brought you to Japan?
I mean, I've just always loved Japan a whole lot. I actually minored in Japanese in school, in college. So it was less language with the minor, and more of just culture classes. And so after I graduated, I was having a real hard time finding a job in the animation industry. And my Japanese teacher back at school, he had done interviewing for the program that I ended up doing, the JET program, to go over to Japan. And so he was the one who suggested it. We also had a friend that had done the JET program, a close friend of ours. And so it was kind of like those two that were like, hey, if you didn't know, they're starting to take because it's like a year-long application process, with like
Wow.
super intense like interviews, and like you have to send in like all this crazy paperwork and get like letters of recommendation and like all of this, like it's a super intense like year-long process to be able to do it. And I just happened to be inquiring about it when they were currently taking applications. So I had a lot of help from those two fine gentlemen and went through the super
great.
long, intense process and made it to Japan finally.
So cool.
Yeah.
I've never been. My dad, I think I told you my dad lived there when he was in the service. He loved it.
Yeah. You should
Grew up.
go.
Yeah, I mean, maybe now's not such a good time, but
Yeah, no. Not right now.
But I mean, I've never really done Asia, and I'd love to check it out.
I think
I've
that you
spent-
would really love it.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been drawn to India. I want to check out like temples and shit.
Mhm.
I want to go to Cambodia and check out Angkor Wat, and I would like to. I mean, it's just a part of the world I've never explored. I'd love to see the pyramids.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Egypt. Or down in South America. Either set.
I feel like
Pyramids.
my Asian countries for you would be Japan and Vietnam. I think that you would really enjoy.
Cool.
Yeah. From
How many have you gone to?
I've only ever been to Japan, but because we were so close to everything else, a lot of people that were in the same program as me would travel around to like the different, like, because we were like a 2-hour-ish boat ride away from South Korea where I was
Right.
in Japan. So people would make just like weekend trips over to South Korea. You could easily go to China, Vietnam, like a lot of those. And so I haven't personally been, but I've heard a lot of stories from my friends who would, take mini vacations over there. So,
Cool. Well, maybe I will. My friend Erica went out. She taught in, I think, South Korea. She taught English for a while. She really loved the people she met there. It was a good experience for her.
yeah, South Korea I've heard is also very Very cool.
Mhm. Also, maybe not a good place to travel right now.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of places maybe don't travel right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's my brother's company has factories in China. They are, it's like
Oof.
everything is standstill.
Yeesh.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. He works
Bakers.
for this company that makes Halloween masks and
Mhm.
Halloween stuff on like from like the lowest, pretty much the lowest tier to super high end, and he's even done like commission stuff and stuff.
Oh,
So,
cool.
but he is. I think I may have told you guys he travels to China a lot for his job.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, like I was like, it must be cool. He was like, well, it was cool the first 10 times. But
Aw.
he's like really he's been there. He's been there in the high tens of times.
Uh
Like
huh.
I don't know how many, but he has traveled 5 times a year, and he'll go for 2 and 3 weeks at a time, longer, month, and he's away from his wife and daughter. They hate
Yeah.
it to drag, but yeah, he knows a lot of people in China right now. So
I hope they're all
Uh,
okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, and he had just gotten back.
Oh
Actually.
no, really?
Yeah, he got back right before they started locking all this shit down, and he sort of felt a little sick, but he's like, I didn't have a fever, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And his daughter also got a cold, but they were. I mean, that's the thing with this. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you clear your throat and be like, oh my god, is it?
Yeah. Mojave says that their go-to list for Asia is Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Singapore, and Hong Kong.
That's a lot of places.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Good list.
It's a good list.
Yeah.
Not Angkor Wat though, huh? Not Cambodia. My dad has this statue head that he got there when he was in the service. Like that when I grew up, it was like he had it. It's like one of these things you see, and I was like, it's like as big as like I could hold in 2 hands.
Oh my gosh.
Probably as 8 inches by 5 across or something, and dimensional. It's a sculpture. And later he was like, yeah, I got that at Angkor Wat, but I wasn't supposed to take it or some shit. I was just like, you asshole.
What?
Like, what the fuck, dude?
Did he
Like,
steal
no,
a
I mean, this is
statue
back,
from
this
the
is back,
Angkor
this is
Wat?
back, this is back, way back, before, like, when it was, like, American Navy walking around.
Oh
and shit,
no.
like, yeah, and, like,
Oi.
yeah, so, like, I don't know. But,
Come
like,
on, Mr.
I
Magic.
Reynolds,
You can't-
Mr. Reynolds. Mr. Magic.
Mr. Reynolds would be nasty.
That's funny. I forgot about that. My Twitter handle. Since I haven't used it since November 3rd.
I remember the day.
I do remember the day. Something just stuck in my head, and this is stuck in my craw besides. So fuck Twitter. I can't wait to get super famous and be interviewed and trash Twitter. That's the only reason I ever want to be famous, because I don't want to be famous.
You would be like you would have the best drama surrounding you if you were famous. It would
God.
all good drama.
I don't know about that, man.
Like
I think it's
all
a blessing that
all,
I've never
all
been.
chaotic good drama.
Oh, God. Don't curse me.
Don't curse me with
God,
fame.
Don't curse me with fame, please. I just want to be able to work and live a life and be happy doing that too. Fame looks really like it's a drag, man. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens the next couple years. But mark my words, if I'm ever on a talk show, and someone asks me and says, "You're not on Twitter," I'll say, "Well, yes. This is why."
No, I'm not.
And because Twitter can fuck themselves. And by the time I'm famous, you can say they can fuck themselves on American TV, on a kids show, probably. That's
Probably.
how long it's
By
gonna
that
be
time, maybe
before I'm that
Twitter
famous.
won't even be around anymore.
That's
It'll
right.
just be
It'll
like a
remember
weird old
back
man.
then, you never had one, did you? I'll be like 300 years old because we'll like be allowed to live that long by that point in time, or I'll have been resurrected or some shit.
Be a head in a jar.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like I've been 3D printed back into consciousness or something. I have ideas. Who knows what will happen in the future? I mean, think of the stuff we can do now, and thought that we could do it then? Or
That's
who thought that
true.
we could do it then and we all thought, that's ridiculous. And now
Poppycock.
we're doing it. Like, 3D printing is amazing.
Oh my god, I love. I want a 3D printer so bad.
You can print something with moving parts.
I could
Without
print my
putting them
own
together.
minis.
Yes, but you can print. I've seen a guy print a wrench with an adjustable slide thing that printed, and it's wild.
That's crazy.
You can print organs.
Ugh, that's mind-boggling.
It's the Star Trek replicator on slow. You know. Right? I mean, it's a boggling reality. It really is.
Oh man.
20 years from now, what's going to be the thing? Think about 20 years ago and what we have now compared, and then take that and probably 20 by 20, like hit it exponentially.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth dimensional, fifth dimensional factors. Crazy.
Oh.
We'll all be around because we'll be 3D printed. It'll be good.
Just 3D print yourself a new body. It's fine.
But it won't even be a body. It'll be like 3D printing your consciousness. Like they'll somehow print an idea. They'll be able to print ideas and memories. I bet you.
That'd be wackadoo.
Wackadoo with cheese, probably.
Mojave says we can make synthetic meat, and that's pretty awesome. That is pretty
Right.
awesome.
It is.
I'm loving me all the veggie meats that are coming out lately, personally.
Yeah, it's super cool. I tried to be. I think it was Impossible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Whatever the one they had at the Alamo Draft House. I was seeing a movie and I was like, oh, they have this here. I'm gonna try one. I rarely eat real food at one of those places, but I ordered one, and it was good. But it was. I found out. It's like it's mainly plant oil.
Yeah.
That creates this like reality of pseudo juicy beef or whatever, and it's kind of gross to me. Like, I don't need fake meat. I can I was a vegetarian for 12 years. I'm not now currently, although I sort of incline.
It's not for people who are vegetarian. It's for people who eat meat and are looking for a healthier substitute.
Sure, absolutely. And maybe they want to be, mindful or heartful both to their fellow beings on this planet, and I'll raise my glass to that. Absolutely.
That's mostly why I've been interested in it, because you hear all the time about the the farming crisis and stuff that's kind of going on, and so it's like, I mean, my main choice of meat is chicken, and I just could eat chicken all day long, every day. But when it comes to beef and stuff, I've never been a big beef or pork gal. So it's if I can try something that's gonna lead to more sustainable, eating habits and stuff, I don't mind trying something that's a beef substitute or whatever.
Right. Well, I mean, bottom line, factory farming is evil and wrong. It's the least mindful, heartful, conscious way of going about that process ever. It is, and that gets put in the food. That is all that fear, all that horrible reality gets put in. The people are consuming that shit, and you are what you eat. I really believe that, and I've tasted the difference. My buddy, is staying with him, visiting him in Wisconsin. He's got a family's had a farm for generations.
Oh, cool.
And he was like, they will raise and slaughter one cow a year or something, and they treat it humanely. They slaughter humanely, whatever that means. I guess it's not factory farming, but the meat was amazing. They cooked some, and it was like no meat I've ever had before. It did not taste like beef I've had. And even when I ate at, Del Frisco's in New York City, which is an obscene steakhouse as far as price is concerned, financial part of it. It's like the steak I had at my buddy's farm was much better because the cow had a better life, I think. So.
Well, yeah, my aunt, she used to farm goats, and she would slaughter them for the local, I believe it was the Muslim community that would hit her up for goats a lot. And yeah, she always had to make sure that she was very humanely slaughtering them because she said that when you do like unhumane practices, like first of all, it's just you shouldn't do it. But she also said that as far as like meat quality goes, when they have that fear, it toughens the meat. So you have to, if you want like that's kind of one of the differences in like the meat quality and stuff is if you do it in more humanely, it'll be more tender meat. Fun facts about farming.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh. Let's see how Marley's coming along. She's looking pretty good, I think. Started kind of blocking her clothes here a little bit.
What's that?
The drawing that I'm doing, Marley. She's looking pretty good.
It's looking good.
Thank y'all.
Very consistent character, drawing to drawing. It's very nice.
Loving it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow, it's almost about our regular wrap-up time. So I think that we might go ahead and wrap it on up, guys. It's been great chatting.
Are you gonna start doing this more?
We've kind of just been slotting it in whenever, like,
As a sub.
yeah, like whenever Annie's like, I don't, I've been doing too many solo things on Mondays, or,
sure.
you know, like, or, you know, I've been wanting to do more art stuff here on the channel. Just because I do so much of it, like I might as well like show people the process. I love like talking with you guys and stuff.
Yeah,
and...
I was gonna say I really digging the chat, just chilling. I've been drawing while we've been talking too. So.
Oh, awesome! You should post what
Yeah.
you've been drawing.
Well, I'll post. I'm doing a sketch. I'm working on a character class.
Oh, cool.
Gonna throw it up on the DMs Guild.
Ooh.
My goal is to do it at the end of the month, but we'll see if I get that. But I'm just doodling some stuff. But yeah.
Very, very
So,
cool.
yeah. But that's for another day, another topic.
But yeah, so like, and it's mostly been due to my schedule though, why I haven't been doing it more consistently, because my schedule's just been kind of all over the place and crazy. So once it kind of like mellows out more, I'd love to have it be like a more consistent thing. I'd love to have other people have their drawing up on the screen. I'd love to, if we could do like, I know over on another stream that I watch called The Big Dogs, they've been doing a lot of like collaborative art streams lately.
Cool.
Where everybody goes onto this website called Aggie.io or something like that. And you can all draw on like the same canvas, just on like a different layer.
Oh, so it's like you do an exquisite corpse?
Yeah, kind of.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's I'd love to get like you and Mira and Dan and like whoever else like wants to, you know, like if
Bring Aaron
if
in
Marty
too,
can
she's
get like a
around.
digital setup, I'd love to have him on there. Like anybody.
Well, I mean, you can even do it. I mean, even if we were to do some way to have like a quarter screen or something.
Yeah.
Like we divided up the page so it's like, you know, however many people are drawing and whatever their camera, like I could aim my camera just straight down on my desk while I draw.
Yeah.
And like be that low tech while you're using your desktop or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But bottom line is I'm digging the chat and
Yeah.
the company, so
I would
cover it.
I would love to get more of us like involved in it if possible, if for nothing else than just hanging out in chat while one person is on the screen, because
It's like hanging out in art class back
Yeah.
in high school. You're all sitting around
Yeah, that
drawing
does
and
sound like a
shooting
lot
the
of
shit.
fun.
I fucking
Yeah.
love that. That's the one thing I miss about classes.
Mhm.
Is that art camaraderie where you're just talking about anything and everything, but you're all creating together and inspiring each other. It's really cool.
for sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I see like this particular like Art at the Inn kind of like evolving into. That was my original like pitch to Andy, was like,
I'm
I want to
totally
start
down,
off
man.
with like
Yeah.
just me doing the drawing because I know how to like set that up, and then like once we've got that down pat, like try and bring more people in, and because we've got a lot of talent here, I feel like. So
Absolutely.
I want to show it off as much as we can. So
Right.
and I love
Absolutely.
talking
I love
with you
that.
all. I love our like
Yay.
before game chats and stuff, and we've always tried to like think of ideas of how can we like format it so that like we get more of those like we've even talked about recording like the before stream chats and just
It's like table
throwing them
talk.
up. Yeah.
Before or after. Yeah, I mean, after I guess is harder because people are usually like, oh, fuck, I gotta go to bed to get up
Yeah.
the next day. But before is a
Yeah.
great, I don't know if you ever watched, there's this guy who was streaming the Descent into Avernus. He's this English guy, how to be a great game master, Guy Slanders. But he was doing the Descent into Avernus. He did a 12 episode stream, and he totally reworked it. He set it like before Zario fell, and it was really cool.
Oh,
But
cool.
before every section, he would have maybe 20 minutes to half an hour of GM prep beforehand, where like people who were watching, on the Twitch could listen to what he is planning.
Very
And
cool.
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
And then you'd see the players like, fuck it up or whatever, and and they had no idea.
Mhm.
I actually have to go now.
Oh,
Go,
okay.
go,
I don't know if we were gonna end it now, but you
Oh.
know what? It's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan, and I don't want to rush you guys to end it.
Oh no. We can go ahead and end, and then
Yeah.
we can keep chatting afterwards off
Yep.
stream. So yeah. Thanks
Talk to you
for
later.
joining me, everyone. Thank you for coming, Dan,
Yay.
Liz, Timothy, everyone. Thank you for talking. This has been Art at the End, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Yay. Bye.